The community festival on New Haven was supposed to be a celebration, humans and Threxians marking 3 years of successful cohabitation on the colony world. Instead, it became a nightmare. Mira. Counselor Seyla Varen's voice carried panic that cut through festival music. Has anyone seen Mira? Seyla's daughter, 6 years old, distinctive pointed Threxian ears, bright luminescent markings, had been playing near the food stalls 20 minutes ago. Now she was gone. Threxian children were precious. Their slow reproduction rate made each child invaluable to their species. A missing child wasn't just family crisis, it was community emergency. Search parties formed immediately. Humans and Threxians spread out, calling Mira's name, checking every building, every stall, every corner of the settlement. An hour passed. No sign. Seyla's markings blazed distress, deep purple mixed with frantic gold. Other Threxians tried to calm her, but maternal fear overrode rational thought. Tensions began rising. Some Threxians whispered about human negligence. The festival had been human-organized. Some humans resented the implied accusation. The fragile cooperation between species started fraying under stress. We need to expand the search, Colony Administrator Chen suggested. Check the surrounding areas, camping zones. The camping area, someone interrupted. I saw movement in one of the tents. Everyone rushed toward the designated camping zone outside the main settlement, an area where colonists set up tents for overnight stays when they wanted solitude. They found her in the third tent they checked. Mira, curled up peacefully asleep, her small body pressed against a human man, her hand clutching his arm. The man, Marcus Grant, a quiet colonist known for keeping to himself, was also asleep, positioned protectively around the child. The sight shocked everyone. Seyla arrived, pushing through the crowd, her markings cycling through relief, confusion, and something harder to identify. Before anyone could speak, Mira stirred, saw her mother, smiled sleepily. Mama. Marcus told me stories. I fell asleep. Simple explanation, childish innocence, but the adults stared at the scene with 1,000 questions. How did Mira end up here? Why was she with Marcus Grant? Why did she look so peaceful, so trusting with a human stranger? Marcus woke, realized the situation, and sat up carefully without disturbing Mira. I can explain, he said quietly, every eye fixed on him, waiting. In Seyla's residence, away from the crowd, Marcus explained. I was camping alone. Mira wandered into my tent about 3 hours ago, lost, scared. She'd been chasing a butterfly and gotten turned around. Seyla's markings flickered. You should have brought her back immediately. I know, I planned to, but she was terrified, crying. I focused on calming her first, told her stories, gave her water, explained she was safe. Marcus met Seyla's eyes steadily. She fell asleep before I could bring her back. I should have alerted someone immediately regardless. That was my mistake. Your mistake could have. Seyla stopped, controlling her anger. Do you understand what you put me through? What you put our entire community through? Yes, and I'm genuinely sorry for that. But I want you to understand, when I found Mira crying, my priority was her immediate emotional state. I'm a former teacher. My instincts said calm the child first, then address logistics. Seyla studied him, torn between gratitude that Mira was safe and fury that Marcus hadn't handled this properly. Then Mira, sitting between them, spoke up. Marcus tells the best stories, Mama, about earth animals and brave explorers. He's nice. Something in her daughter's tone caught Seyla's attention. Familiarity, affection. Mira, have you talked to Marcus before today? Mira nodded enthusiastically. Lots of times. When I get lost during exploration, Marcus helps me find the way back, and he shares his lunch when I miss meal time, and he knows so many stories. Seyla felt cold. How many times? Mira counted on her fingers. Many times. Seyla turned to Marcus, her markings blazing. You've been interacting with my daughter in secret. Not secret, just private. Marcus chose his words carefully. Mira is curious, adventurous. She wanders. When I encounter her during my own activities, I help her, make sure she's safe. I never sought her out, but I couldn't ignore a child who needed guidance. You should have told me. Yes. I should have. I'm sorry I didn't. Marcus paused. I didn't want to intrude on your family. I thought, incorrectly, that quietly helping without making it a thing was appropriate. I was wrong. Seyla wanted to stay angry. But Myra's obvious affection for Marcus, her trust, her happiness when she looked at him, it complicated her fury. You don't have children, Seyla said. Not accusation, observation. No, not anymore. Marcus's voice went quiet. My daughter died when she was 7. Illness. That was on Earth before I came here. Understanding dawned. A grieving father finding purpose in helping a curious child. Not predatory, not inappropriate. Just lonely man responding to teaching instincts and unhealed loss. Still wrong to keep it from her, but understandable. I need to think about this, Seyla said finally. Myra, go to your room, please. But now. After Myra left reluctantly, Seyla addressed Marcus. I appreciate that you kept Myra safe, but you should have informed me of your interactions from the beginning. As her mother, I have the right to know who's spending time with my daughter. You're absolutely right, I apologize. That said, Seyla's markings shifted to something more complex. Myra clearly trusts you, cares about you, and you seem to genuinely care about her welfare. I do. Then we need new arrangement, if Myra wants to continue. Whatever this is, it happens with my knowledge, supervised initially, and if I ever feel uncomfortable, it stops. Understood? Relief flooded Marcus's expression. Understood. Thank you. Seyla investigated Marcus thoroughly. Background checks, interviews with other colonists, medical and psychological records. What she found? A former primary school teacher, well-regarded, who'd lost his daughter to genetic illness. Came to New Haven seeking fresh start. Kept to himself, volunteered for solitary tasks, avoided close relationships. No record of inappropriate behavior, no warning signs. Just a broken man who'd found unexpected purpose in helping a curious Threxian child who reminded him of what he'd lost. Seyla understood grief. Myra's father had died before she was born, illness, like Marcus's daughter. Seyla had raised Myra alone, pouring all her love and protection into her only child. That protective instinct made the idea of someone else bonding with Myra troubling. But she also recognized her own tendency toward overprotection, her struggle to balance political duties with single parenthood. She arranged a proper meeting with Marcus, not as accuser, but as mother trying to understand. They met in a park where Myra played nearby within sight. Tell me about your daughter, Seyla said. Marcus talked about Ellie, 7 years old when she died. Bright, curious, loved stories about animals. He'd been her primary teacher after public schools couldn't accommodate her medical needs. She would have liked Myra, he said quietly. They have similar energy, that fearless curiosity. Is that why you helped her? Because she reminded you of Ellie? Initially, maybe, but Myra became Myra to me. Not a replacement, just a child who needed help, and I had the skills to provide it. He paused. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I should have. I didn't know how to explain it without sounding like I was inserting myself inappropriately into your family. Seyla watched Myra chase birds, her daughter's laughter carrying across the park. She's been happier lately, she admitted. More confident. I thought it was just her natural development, but she's mentioned your stories, Marcus said. The ones you tell her about Threxian heroes. She loves them. You've talked about me. Of course, she adores you, talks about Mama constantly. He smiled slightly. I may tell stories, but you're her world. Something in Seyla's chest loosened. I work too much. Council duties, political negotiations. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing her. You're not. She knows she's loved. That's what matters most. They sat in silence for a moment, watching Myra. All right, Seyla decided. You can continue spending time with Myra. Supervised initially, as I said. But Marcus, if this arrangement continues, you become part of our lives. Not a secret friend. Someone I know and trust. Can you do that? Yes. I'd like that. Over the following months, Marcus became regular presence in their lives. He visited their home for story time, taught Myra about Earth ecology and Threxian astronomy, provided patient attention that Seyla, busy with council duties, sometimes struggled to give. Seyla and Marcus developed cautious friendship. She learned he was kind, patient, genuinely good with children. He learned about Threxian culture, about challenges of single motherhood balanced with political responsibility. They complemented each other. He provided educational enrichment. She provided the maternal love that was Myra's foundation. The arrangement worked. One evening, after Myra fell asleep during story time, Seyla and Marcus talked quietly in the living area. "Thank you," Seyla said, "for being patient with my initial reaction, for understanding why I was angry. You were protecting your daughter, I'd have done the same. Still, I could have handled it better." She paused. "Myra loves you. She talks about Marcus's stories constantly. She loves you more, as she should. She has room in her heart for both of us." Seyla's markings glowed warm. "I'm glad she does. I was so focused on being enough for her that I didn't realize she could benefit from other positive relationships too. You are enough, but accepting help doesn't diminish that." At a colony council meeting months later, discussion turned to human Threxian cooperation initiatives. Seyla spoke publicly. "When my daughter went missing, I was terrified. Finding her asleep, trusting a human stranger, challenged every protective instinct I had. But Marcus Grant proved that trust can form in unexpected places, that kindness transcends species, and that sometimes the connections we don't expect are the ones we need most." Marcus, uncomfortable with public attention, added simply, "I just told her stories. She reminded me why stories matter. They build bridges when words fail." Myra, now 7 and attending the council meeting with her mother, spoke up with childish directness. "Marcus is my friend. Friends take care of each other." The assembly smiled. The simple truth from a child cutting through political complexity. What started as panic, a missing child, had become foundation for connection benefiting all three. Marcus found purpose and healing through helping Myra. Myra found education, stories, and another source of love. Seyla found support, friendship, and reminder that accepting help made her stronger, not weaker. Sometimes the most important relationships begin with a child's innocent trust and an adult's willingness to be worthy of it. Myra had trusted Marcus before anyone understood why. That trust proved justified, not through grand gestures but through quiet consistency, gentle teaching, and genuine care. The missing child found asleep,